This is Road to the Golden Door, where we unpack the proven success formula straight from the minds of Golden Door winners, uncovering the motivation, methods, and the mindset it takes to become an elite performer in door-to-door sales and in life. This is Road to the Golden Door. Now, here's your host, Mikey Lucas.
What's up, guys? Welcome back, Road to the Golden Door. Very excited about this one. I've got somebody I just met, actually. In the pre-show here, we're talking about a lot of our similarities with our Fiji trips. Very excited to talk to this dude, Dallin Haymore. He has a double Golden Door award, actually achieved it in Windows. Very excited to show you guys what he's doing now, because this is a very big topic that I've been hearing throughout the industry. Very excited to see what the transition has looked like. 28 years old. Hit it at 23, 24. So Dallin, what's up, dude? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
So I know you prepped and went and watched all the shows, but so you saw how I usually start. But for everyone that doesn't know Dallin Haymore, who is Dallin Haymore?
Yeah. Born and raised in Mesa, Arizona. I'm actually the oldest of 7 kids. And a fun fact is I've actually never lived in a house longer than 2 years. So my dad's had a million different jobs. And so I just got used to moving around a lot. To this day, I've never lived in the house 2 years. Crazy. But yeah, I'm a very goal oriented. I love people. I love competition. Big sports guy. Played all the sports in high school: tackle football, basketball, soccer, tennis. In my free time, I like to write, sing, and produce music. So I got some stuff on yeah, dude. Got some stuff on Spotify and YouTube. 17 songs on there if you want to jam out to some tunes. And yeah, I've been doing sales for the last 6 years or so. I've actually done everything in the door-to-door space. Do you want me to get into that?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
What have you sold?
Yeah. I started off in pest control with Active Environmental down in California. And this was during COVID. So I was going to be like a waiter at a fancy restaurant, Charleston's, and then COVID hit. And then everyone lost their jobs. And I had a buddy that was like, hey, you should come try out sales. And I actually had a few people that had tried to recruit me before. And I was like, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to nag people to buy stuff. I don't know if that's for me. And I was like, at that point, I had nothing better to do. So I was like, might as well give it a shot. And I'm also LDS. So I did a 2-year church service mission down in Veracruz, Mexico. And when I was on my mission, though, I really did love going like door to door and tracking. One of my favorite things was just like finding new people to talk to and just read the Bible with them, type of a thing.
Yep.
And so I already had a little bit of an advantage because of that. And I had any training going into the pest control. Most reps usually do some training beforehand. I was just kind of ghost in the headlight, deer in the headlights. Went out my first day with a guy for an hour watching him, and then that was it. And I did okay, nothing special. I was out there for 2 months. I averaged about 2 sales a day, got like 100 accounts, so nothing really special.
What year was that?
That 2020 during COVID. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it was funny. I told my manager at the end of the season, I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm cut out for sales. This is tough on me. Like the door-to-door pest grind, like it's a grind. You're up in the meeting at 8 a.m. and then you're out in the doors at 9 a.m. and then they're not picking you up until 9:30. And it takes a toll on you after a couple months.
Sure.
And then on top of that, I tore both of my ACLs in high school and never got surgery on them. So I'm walking around on 2 ACLs my entire door-to-door experience, just walking around and tore broken ACL. So that made it even harder because after a long day of walking with 2 broken ACLs, like your knees start to really get painful. I just pushed through, gritted through my teeth.
No scooter?
No scooter. No, it wasn't even till like my last year of door-to-door that I was on like a hoverboard, a Segway. And that, dude, and once you go on a Segway, you're never going to go back, dude. Like to walking, like Segway is just a game changer.
Okay.
I was like, why was I so stupid to not do this? Yeah, total game changer. But anyways, so I was thinking against doing it a second year. And then I got reached out to by the Grit and was working with Alec Withers for a couple months.
Yeah.
And the Grit, like, they're dogs, dude. And Alec Withers was like top leader.
He's top G.
Yeah, dude. I noticed a big
Yeah.
difference when I was working with him. Like his coaching and his one-on-one trainings, he was just like dialed in on everything and nitpicking. And I was like, hey, I never got any of this stuff adapted. What's going on? And it's like, I can see why all your guys are killing it, because they're really like fine tuning each individual personal, and or scheduling a time. When can I schedule you to go again? Like they're on you to make sure that they do it. And I've never experienced that type of coaching from any other door-to-door industry like that. Is pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
But I also had the bug of I didn't have the best first year experience. And then my sister was doing solar down in Arizona, where I'm from. And so I started doing that during the off season, and I started doing well in solar. And it fit a little bit better to my liking with the schedule, where it was like you meet at the office at 2 or 3, and then out on the doors 3:30 to 8:30 type of a thing. So it was just more of a manageable schedule. I was able to be local with family and friends, and I was still making about the same, maybe even a little bit more in solar because the commissions are bigger. So I ended up doing solar for the next 2 years. And honestly, sorry, I'm a little sick right now. If I cough or sneeze, forgive me. But in solar, I honestly didn't do like super hot, just like enough to stay afloat type of a thing. A couple sales a month was basically what I was averaging. And lots of ups and downs with the solar. Worked with 2 different companies, and never was able to figure it out. And then after a couple years, it got really tough. Just the industry was getting really saturated. People were swiping deals, poaching, canceling, and it just started going downhill fast for me after a couple years. So then I had a friend that reached out to me to try out window sales, and I was like, I'm not doing good at solar anymore, so might as well give it a shot. And when I transferred over to Windows, it was like night and day game changer difference for me. It was
Really?
like, yeah, it was. And I think there's a few reasons for it. One was it was way less of a saturated market, which is super helpful. And then the training and the leadership, I think, were just a lot better there. They had this script that you follow. You say the exact script word for word, and it's really easy to just plug into. And then also in the window game, like they'll pay you the very next week. So like you get the sale, then every next Friday you're getting paid. Whereas with solar, usually takes 2 or 3 months to finally get paid if you're lucky.
Are they putting in windows
Um,
right away? Like same week, next week?
they don't put it in right away, but they pay you right away, right after the sale, that very
All
next
right.
Friday. Yeah. And I just was hot from the start. And it was weird to me because like I was able to consistently get 4 or 5 sets every single day, whereas everybody else was getting like 0, 1, or 2. So I was the only one that was like killing it. And my second month, I like broke the company record for the most revenue done in a month by a knocker. It was like 325,000 or something like that. And that held for 2 years. Nobody was able to pass that knocking revenue record. And it was weird to me because I was like, I don't feel like I'm anybody special or I'm doing anything different. But I think it was the culmination of multiple things. I think my prior door-to-door experience of seeing all the ups and downs in pest and solar definitely gave me an advantage. And I'd also started like indoctrinating myself with Tony Robbins stuff, and that really put like a hunger and drive for me to grow and do better, be bigger. And so I think it was just a accumulation of multiple things that allowed me to succeed. And then it was just an industry that was less saturated and good leadership, good scripts, good closers. And so it all worked out. And then, yeah, I just kept on going up from there. And then once I had that big success story, it was super easy to recruit. So I got recruiter of the year for the company and brought in all my buddies, all my friends, I got my whole entire roommate's household to quit their jobs to come work with me. One guy quit working at the bank. Another guy quit working in construction. Another guy quit owning his own business with his uncle. They all just like, dude, what you're doing is awesome. We're going to come work with you.
Right.
And then with Windows, where you really can grow really fast is if you're like just a closer with a lot of recruits under you that's going just to appointment. And you don't make any type of like overrides in Windows like you would with like pests or solar, but I always made the most in Windows just because it was just like grindy. We're on the doors, we're going to the next one, just selling a deal or two a day. And yeah, it was a great experience. So we got 2 golden doors. It was actually funny. My first year, I started like late February, early March of 2023. And come like August, I think the owner of the company was like, all right, these are all the people that could potentially hit golden door this year. And then I put in the chat, hey, you forgot my name, but I'm going to be up there too. And so he he just assumed I wasn't going to hit it because I had started late and didn't have the full year behind me. But I was like, nah, dude, like I'm going to hit this golden door. You don't think I'm part of this conversation? I'm going to show you. And then I was grinding and hit it first year and then second. And I was on track to hit it my third year until I decided I wanted to have a different path. Basically,
Yeah. Where did that come from? I'd like to know that. Like let me unpack a lot of this. So I want to get into a couple things.
sure.
So you went from pest to solar to Windows, and it sounds like we're about to find out
And
about what this new path is. Go ahead.
yeah, and actually also in between solar and Windows, I actually did alarms for a couple weeks and roofing for a couple weeks.
There we go. You were trying things.
Yeah, yeah. So I learned about it all. But yeah, and then I transitioned. Now I'm in life insurance sales.
Okay.
But yeah, basically it was where I was at. I was feeling like I was like a slave to the job. I just wasn't enjoying it a lot anymore. And with the leadership of the company, they had a kind of a very strict regimen of we want you to be here
Were you
24/7.
an employee or an independent contractor?
Independent contractor, 1099, but like they run the business as if they're all employees type of a thing. They have this culture of you follow the schedule A to Z or we're kicking you out type of a thing. It's very like our way or the highway if you want to be with us. And it works for a lot of people, especially in the beginning, to get people going. But long term, it can kick people out because of how strict they are to basically, they're like, it was crazy because it was like I had bought a ticket to go do a Tony Robbins event. They're like, hey, if you go to that ticket that you bought, we're going to fire you, like for you going to a Tony Robbins event. And I was like, dude, like the reason why I'm growing and I'm able to improve and be good is because I'm investing in
I go
myself.
sharpen the axe for an hour and then come back and cut for 6 hours and watch me hit my third and fourth and fifth golden door in a row. What are you talking about?
Yeah. They're like, no, like we lose too much revenue when you're gone. You can't do that. Like we want you to be fully committed, fully bought in here. And I
taking 1 week off a year.
No, this is, and I think I didn't take a ton of vacation, but I took my family to Disneyland and I go to Tony Robbins events, and that was basically it. It was like a couple vacation. I went to my sister's wedding for a couple of days. There was a few things here or there I take off, but it was like for good reason. It wasn't like I'm just gonna not show up and work just because I don't feel like it or whatever.
Yeah, you hit golden door, bro. Yeah, you can't take days off.
Yeah, but they were just didn't give a lot of wiggle or bend room to anything, and so it just got to the point where I was like, I'm really grateful and appreciative of what I've been able to accomplish and what I've been given here, but there's so much more that I'd like to do. And I just felt like they were limiting me in my growth. And I wanted to focus on dating, on my health, on my hobbies, on being more social. And it was just like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm working and made really good money, but there's more to life than just making good money.
All right. So I want to ask one specific question because I have seen it in all of my interviews, not all my interviews, but through all of my interviews, I've seen a trend, I should say, right? Tony Robbins, identify trends, right?
Yeah.
Utilize a trend and then create trends, right? The three things
Pattern
that he says, pattern recognition, right?
Yeah.
How grade yourself, honestly, from 1 to 10, 1 to 6, however you want to do it. How much of that golden door dog you have now switching to probably what I'm assuming is working out of your office in your house?
Yeah. That's
Are
a
you
great
working
question.
out of your house?
I am. Yeah. And we have an office close by that I go to as well.
Walk me through that because that is something that I'm very curious about. And I think people need to know.
Yeah. I would say the first kind of few months in it, I was enjoying the newfound freedom that I had, where it was like, wow, like I actually can go to the gym every day consistently. I can go on dates every single week. I can take care of myself. I can have more times in my hobbies and be social. So I was living up that kind of I have more freedom lifestyle type of a thing.
Sure.
Now that I've been able to embrace that for the last few months, now I'm at the point where I want the gears to switch back into Golden Door mode, where it's like, hey, let's do 10, 12-hour days every single day. Let's grow something really big. Let's like put in tons of effort, ton of work. Because in life insurance, in my opinion, in order to be really successful, you got to really put in a ton of work up front, really understand the craft, really put up big numbers. And then once you do that and you grow, then you can if you want, you can go on more cruise control because you figure it out, you understand the game, you're hitting your goals, and you can step back and start managing a team type of a thing.
Yeah.
But first you gotta have to prove yourself as being a dog, as being a leader. So now I'm in that headspace of, hey, let's go into Golden Door mode. Let's really ramp up and put in massive amounts of effort and work ethic and discipline to prove that I still belong in the sales industry type of a thing. That makes sense.
Are you going to try to hit a golden door in insurance?
That's the goal. Yeah. In insurance, they have what's called the Hall of Fame, which is you have to sell $400,000 of annual premium in a year. So definitely a goal of mine. Yeah,
Good.
for sure.
Looking forward to seeing you on stage next year with that.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, totally.
Awesome. All right, let's unpack this. So you started, you've got some experience doing a 2-year mission with the LDS Church. You've got some of that. You obviously got recruited, right? That's very normal.
Yeah.
Went to pest, solar, alarms, roofing, windows, hit Golden Door again, and now you're in life insurance.
Yep.
You've got 6 different siblings. You said you're the oldest or?
Oldest. Yeah. 5 younger sisters, 1 younger brother. Yeah.
Hoorah, let's go. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Sandwich. 2 boys on the end. Let's go. All right, cool.
Basically. Yeah.
From Arizona.
Yep.
What was your taking back to your Golden Door year? What was your coming off of your Golden Door year, going into your last Golden Door year, this last one? What was that like?
Yeah. For me, it got to the point where it was like, once I knew I hit it the first year, it was like a done deal. I know I'm going to hit it the second year. If you can do it once, you can do it again, as long as you're putting in the work, following the system, grinding hard.
So if you want to bring me back to the first year, then bring me back to the first year. What was that like?
Yeah, it was surprising to me, like how much success I was able to have. But I think in my opinion, if you have like hunger, discipline, and optimism, then anybody could hit a Golden Door type of a thing. But like the guys that I saw succeed were the guys that were hungry. And by hungry, like in my company Windows, they only required you to do 5 hours a day. But the people that followed the schedule and only did the required hours weren't the people that were hitting Golden Door. If you want to hit Golden Door, you got to be willing to like work extra long hours, reach your goals. And so it was a type of thing like, hey, I'm not taking a lunch break until I get one set. I'm not going home at night until I get another set or another deal. And so people, they'll rise to the standards that they set for themselves. And
so you set a Golden Door as a standard, or was it just setting a daily goal? It sounds like you've had a daily goal.
Yeah, it was daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals. It wasn't really until 4 or 5 months in that I even realized that I had the ability or potential to hit Golden Door. Because at first it was just like, wow, I'm making all this money. I'm getting all these sales. Awesome. Let's just keep it going. Let's keep it rolling type of a thing.
Right.
And then after a few months of that, I was like, oh, wait, like, no, I could hit Golden Door. Like I could do this. And then once I knew I could do it, then it was like, I'm going to do it. That's progression. That makes sense.
It does. What was the biggest breakthrough that you had in your first Golden Door year? Was it like you knew you were on pace? Were you not on pace? What was that? Walk me through that where you're like, okay, cool, I got to finish this race.
Biggest breakthrough. See, for me, I feel like it's like a stacking of multiple things that accumulate that make you start to recognize what's possible. But I think the moment that it pops in is what I share, where they're like, hey, these are the people that can hit Golden Door this year. And that was where I was like, you didn't put my name on the list, bro. I'm going to be up there. So I think that was like where I was like really like hungry, where I was like, hey, you forgot about me, but I'm going to make you remember, type of a thing. So that might have been like the biggest breakthrough point, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was also just like a steady like progression of getting better, of getting more guys in, of closing more deals, of learning the craft, and continually wanting to grow and be the best that I can be. And you put in the work and results, you just keep it going, and then I don't know, then you see a success.
Yeah. It's the small things that add up over time, brother. I agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Absolutely. So it sounds like there was a formula that you had to hit it. You set some daily, weekly, quarterly, monthly goals. Walk me through how you learned that, what you didn't do, what maybe you changed between the first year and the second year. What does your goal
yeah,
setting look like? Or what was your standards? You
yeah,
said people fall and rise to their level of their standards. What was that for you in those years?
yeah. Great question. Well, the company, we always like did goal setting as at the beginning of the year. Let's say, hey, what do you want to do for revenue for the whole year? All right, well, let's break that down. What does that mean you have to do per month? What does that mean you have to do per week? And as a closer, a common goal was like try to get 100,000 of revenue in a week. And average deal size in Windows is around 20,000. So basically 4 deals a week and if you do that, you'll hit gold door essentially. And then as far as like daily goals, it was like on the low end, I want to at least get 2 sets. On the high end, I want to get 5 or 6, type of a thing, like every single day. And then as a closer, I want to get 1 or 2 closes a day and shoot for that type
And you
of
were
thing.
knocking where?
Arizona, Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa.
Really all parts of the valley of Arizona,
Sure.
but the office was in Mesa. Yeah.
Cool. That's pretty interesting. It sounds like you're really into personal development.
Yeah.
Walk me through that. We'll get into the Tony Robbins stuff here in a little bit, but walk me through what that looked like. Is that something that your parents gave you books to read? Did you go to conferences, seminars, Jim Rohn growing up? What did that look like? Was your family ever
No,
in like multi-level marketing or something? What does this look like?
yeah, my dad actually has joined a lot of different multi-level marketing stuff. There's that. And I think church, growing up in the church, church is like a self-help environment per se. You go to church every Sunday and it's how can I become be the best Christian fellow man. And so I think going to church as a Christian kind of installs that self-help mentality for a lot of people. You're reading your scriptures, you're figuring out how you can improve and be better. Going on a mission definitely installs those attributes into you.
Okay.
And then I was got into the sales world quickly. It was funny. I remember when I was just doing like a minimum wage job working for my dad right after a mission, I would listen to like motivational speeches and Tony Robbins would come on and I'd be like, dude, I really resonate with all this stuff that I'm hearing from Tony Robbins. It's like really amazing stuff. But that was the end of it. And then I wanted to level up in sales when I was in solar, and I got this ad to get life coaching from Tony Robbins. And it's like all the best salesmen and leaders in the world have life coaches. That's how you level up. And I was like, all right, call for a free booking. And I got on the call and it costs like $100 for one 30-minute session, but they make you pay like all up front for the first year. So it ends up being like $3,000 the package for the full year. And at the time, that was a lot for me. That was like the majority of my bank account. But I was like, I didn't know why, but I just felt inclined to be like, I feel like I need to make the sacrifice and just do this and just make this work. I feel like I'm going to get something out of this that it'll be worth it.
What age was
So
that?
this was in 2022 when I was, let's see, I'm 28. I was minus 4, so 20,
25,
24.
26? Yeah, 24, 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. So you got the 3K package from Uncle Tony.
Yeah.
What
For
did
like
that, what did you see? Did you see a difference or no?
yeah. There was obviously like, it's really good. I enjoyed it. I thought I got benefits from it. One of the biggest things that I think having a life coach helps you with is the accountability aspect of keeping yourself accountable to your goals and following through with what you say you're going to do. And having that life coach there is really nice to have. And a big thing that life coaches do is they help you find the answers that you already know, but they just ask really good questions to help pull it out of you, type of a thing. But then with that life coaching package, it came with the free UPW Unleash the Power Within event. And that's where I really got like a ton of value, where it was like, oh, this is the Tony Robbins world. I was like, I feel like I got way more value off that 1, 3, 4 day event than I did from working with the life coach type of a thing. Cause it was just like full immersion, moving your body, breaking through your limiting beliefs, setting goals to set a new standard type of a thing.
You're a firewalker?
Dude, double firewalker, dude. Yeah.
Go. And you climb the pole.
Yeah, and I climbed the pole. Yeah.
In Fiji.
Yeah, dude, Fiji is awesome. And and then when I really but that first event was a virtual one, which was great. But where I really got sold was I wanted to experience Date with Destiny because I had watched the Netflix documentary about your guru.
Not a guru.
And and then when that first event, I was like, how come I didn't see like a ton of different interventions? Like I saw, I'm not your guru. It's because the one where he does a ton of interventions is on Date with Destiny. It's like, I want to go to that one because I loved that documentary, that content. And then when I went to Date with Destiny the first time, which was like December 2023, that's where I was like completely bought in after that. It was like, dude, how did Tony just like completely change this person that was suicidal to not be suicidal anymore? And how did he help this couple that's been struggling for 10 years in their marriage not have any more like struggles in their marriage anymore? He would work with these people, and after an hour, like their whole life would flip around and do a 180, and they're pumped about their life. And it's, dude, this guy's a magician. This is crazy. Yep. And that's where I was like, all right, I'm sold. This is my community. These are my people. Like, I'm all in. Like, I'm going to all the things, all the courses, all the seminars. And I feel like going to all those different events really changed like the trajectory of my life. It really installed in me like those beliefs of, no, like I can do anything I put my mind to, and I can overcome any obstacles in my way, and I can make a difference. And
what year did you do Date with Destiny?
It was December 2023.
And then you went and so you hit the Golden Door that year, and then went and did Date with Destiny, and then went and obviously hit another Golden Door because you're like, hell yeah, I'm doing this another year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's impressive. There's actually quite a few guys that I know from the door-to-door space. Some of them that I've done Date with Destiny and the whole mastery program with, traveled the world with these guys that are all from door to door. So I've got a bunch of guys. Awesome. I'll definitely invite you on the next trip that we do. We're actually we're planning a trip back to Fiji right now.
Hey, that's sick. Yeah. When I was out in Fiji, I made really good friends with a guy named Matt Young, who was a platinum, and he had his own solar company.
Nice.
And he invited me to come do like a charity with him down in Mexico, where we like build houses for like families that are in need from the ground up, type of a thing.
Yep.
And then made a lot of friends was on that trip. And one of the guys that I met on that trip was Trent. And Trent is now my business partner that I do life insurance with.
Let's go.
So it's kind of all the
Tony group?
From the Tony groups. Yeah. So it's like,
people are my people, bro.
Yeah. Met Matt, then met Trent. Now, because I went to those events and met those people where I'm at now, all through the Tony connection, the Tony world. Yeah. So that's crazy how that works out.
Yeah. Lauren had mentioned that when we were there in 24, so we were there the year right before you. And she's like, yeah, there's all these solar guys that come through here. We got to connect you with all of them. She's awesome, dude. Lauren's so dope, dude.
Yeah. Lauren's awesome. Yeah. She's great.
Awesome. So dude, this is like just mind blowing that you're as connected into Tony Robbins as you are. And I'm just excited to understand now what the hell your goals are now. What are you doing? Not like what are your just Golden Door and life insurance, but just business, but let's go into some personal stuff. Like what is with going through if you haven't gone a Date with Destiny and you're listening to this, Tony's not gonna be around forever, right? His mentor, Jim Rohn, is gone, right? Yes, we can watch him on the internet, but you need to get to Date with Destiny, especially before, God willing, Tony Robbins lives with us for another 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I think he's convinced he's going to because NAD and stem cells and all that, which I'm sure you read the book Life Force. I'm a big biohacker. I'm taking all the hormone replacement therapy. I used to do testosterone replacement therapy. I do stem cells, colonics 3, 4, 5 times a year, do the full peptides and all that. I'm in Life Force. I paid Life Force as one of my doctors right now.
Oh shit.
I'm in the program. It's pretty good. I don't know if I'll continue to do it next year, but I don't know why I wouldn't. It's very inexpensive. There's a couple other places like this place that you could just do it on your arm and stuff like that and do it monthly. It's $80, but I'm spending like 100 and something bucks a month. But I love their supplements. Peak Rest. If you're not already taking that, bro, you got to buy their Peak Rest that night drink, dude. It is
okay.
It is
nice.
Not just rest. It's peak rest.
Let's go, dude. I'll have to look into that. You're
It's
selling
dope.
me on it.
It's money, dude. And I got the Aura and I got the Whoop. So I track it all. So
That's trick.
yeah. So tell me about what it sounds like. You want to start dating, you want to get married.
Yeah.
You've already made some good money. I'm sure it's like, I don't want to ask this question, but I have to ask it. What car are you driving right now?
Dude, you know what's funny? I'm not even driving a cool car, dude.
Good. I'm actually glad because I didn't want to glorify like that. Oh yeah, you win, you got money, you go buy a Ferrari. So there's a lot of guys that do that. Nothing against that. I don't think owning a Ferrari or a Rolex or anything is inherently evil.
No.
I'm glad that you're not driving. I'm glad you're driving not a nice car. What are you driving then?
It's a 2016 Hyundai Sonata.
I used to drive a 16 Sonata, bro. Is it a sport or what?
I think it's regular. Just
right. I had a 16 Sport. Or
okay.
15 or 16 Sport.
Dude, yeah, it was literally like my whole life I've drove like clunkers, just like beat up cars. And then when I became a closer, they were like, dude, you can't drive this car appointment to appointments. No, not got a good look.
What?
Like,
your Sonata?
right. No, before that, the one that I had before. The clunker before. Yeah. It looks like it looks like a normal car. But the one I had before, I got like a car accident where the bumper was all messed up and the paint was fading, and it looked ugly. My high school year, I drove another clunker. I got the award in my high school for worst looking car for the whole high school.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So
that's messed up that they would have that. That's like humiliating, dude. What?
Dude, I owned it. I was like, yeah, what's up? I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, I just paid $9,000 in cash for it, and then was like, yeah, as long as you get me A to B, it looks fine, it works. Like, I'm chilling, type of a thing. I feel like, for me at least, like I want to be like making $1 million a year before it's okay. I'm gonna go buy a Ferrari or like a really souped up nice car. That's kind of where my mentality is with it. I feel like I need to earn it almost, type of a thing, prove myself.
Good. And that's on you.
Yeah.
If that's your blueprint and that's what you have to do to be able to get something like that, great. Stick to it.
Yeah, exactly.
It works.
But yeah, no, it's when I was younger, I didn't grow up with a super rich family or anything. My dad, not until recently, has made 6 figures with 7 kids. And so when I was younger, I was just like, hey, if I can just make 6 figures and provide for a family, I'll be a happy man. I'll be set. That would be awesome. And then once I made 6 figures, it was like, oh, it's not a lot. I want to make a lot more than that. And then you hang around. And then you think, okay, $1 million, that's a lot of money, right? But then you go hang around all these people with Tony Robbins, and it's, oh, shoot, $1 million is actually nothing. And then it's, oh, no, like, you need to be like 8, 9 figures. And people that you surround yourself with ultimately end up influencing that trajectory of your life. You know?
Yep.
And so
very true.
With life insurance now, I'm getting trained by actual millionaires. And there's a success story in our company, Chris. He's only been in the company for just over a year, and he's already at the point where he's making $100,000 a month passively from his team with 40 guys under him that he built up in a year. And so that's like a goal, like where I want to get. And it probably take longer to get there than a year. He had some sales like background with a huge team that was able to bring in really fast. He's like a major success story, but no matter how long it takes to get there, I want to get there where it's like able to make that money, create financial freedom for myself, and build that cash machine type of a thing, and get there as fast as possible. But then on top of that, what I love about life insurance is you're your own boss. You completely control your own schedule. Like you get paid basis off the work that you put in, type of the thing.
I have life insurance.
Yeah,
I swear by it.
Yeah. Everyone's going to die. Everyone needs it.
Billionaires buy life insurance. That's why I bought it.
Totally. Yeah. And yeah, on top of that, besides the financial goals, like a big priority of mine that I have is just to settle down and start a family. I feel like that's the biggest missing piece in my life, that I would get a lot of fulfillment being able to settle down and start a family. I feel like that's like the biggest hole in my life per se. And goals to try to go on dates every week type of thing if I can. That's part of it. And then health goals. I'm actually down 30 pounds like in the last 3 months. So going to the gym every day, eating healthy, losing weight, gaining muscle. Got those type of goals. And then I love life and love traveling. I got a lot of hobbies. So
Yeah,
when
tell
I
me about
have,
that. What the hell do you do with your time now? You got your own boss now, so it's nice. What do you do with your time?
yeah, I told you a little bit. I have the hobby of writing, singing, producing music. So I want to get more into that. The gym is obviously a big hobby of mine now. I love sports. So I just entered into a ping pong tournament. I was in pickleball tournaments. I was just
Nice.
in a basketball tournament.
Nice.
So being able to go compete and play ball is something that I love.
Yep.
And travel. After I quit performance, I'm also like a big theme park nerd. So
Cool.
I went to Disney World for the first time, Universal
Yep.
Studios. I went to Germany and went to Phantasialand, went to Paris.
No way.
And yeah, I checked out Disneyland Paris over there and
You can
checked
work
out the Eiffel
remote while you're out
Tower.
there too, right?
Yeah, that's a huge perk to be able to work remote and travel. And so I want to see the world. And one day, one of the goals is to be a plat. You travel the world with the plats type of
Yep.
thing. Not there
I might
yet.
have to sell. I might have to sell you on joining with me at the end of this year.
Nice. Yeah, we'll see how things go, but that's on the bucket list for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Where are you going next?
For travels.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, there's nothing like I just did a ton of travel. And so now I'm in kind of the mindset of just, okay, I had my fun. I was able to like reap the spoils of my labors for a second. And now I'm more than okay. Now I just want to dial down, hone in, focus on work and really grow that before I deserve to be able to go travel again. I might go to Mexico with some buddies and do the charity trip, building houses for some guys. I did that a couple months ago and they do it like every 6 months. So I might do that again. But yeah, I haven't planned anything yet. Right now, I'm just okay. I had some fun. Now let me focus back in on my work goals.
Yep.
And earn to go travel again, type of thing where I'm at.
I'm super curious. Did you fly first class when you went to Europe?
Did not
Dude,
fly
okay,
first class.
okay. I like this. Very
Yeah.
interesting when you can see what, like you're driving a 16 Sonata, which I drove the same car. Love that car, by the way. Did you put speakers in it or no?
I didn't. No.
Okay. I was like, did you put a speaker in there or what, dude?
I should because I love music. But
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
I like that. You'll get along with Michael Schmelzer really well. He's one of the wealthiest. I don't want to say he's not cheap, but he won't buy first class either. And I'm like, dude, it's a game changer. I'll never go overseas ever again. 8-hour flight or more, I am buying first class. There's no chance. No chance. Not anymore.
To me, yeah, I think it's also because like I grew up very conservatively, and so I tend to be a little bit more of penny pincher, saver where I can type of a thing. I think eventually it'll get to the point. In my mind, I feel like for me, first class would be justified when I have $1 million a year coming in net revenue. Then I'll be like, you know what, I can justify this. But I feel like you have to hit certain levels, at least for me, before I like can justify making those really big purchases type of thing. That's how my mentality goes.
You'll probably be wealthy much longer than most people because most people, when they get there, they start spending it. I've made that mistake. I'm sure you've made the mistake too, but I've made the mistake as well. And I see it happen all the time. I'm like, one of my foundational principles is don't raise your lifestyle until your passive income can pay for it. And I stand true to that.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's good. So you told me in the pre-show, let's talk about, since we're talking about money and you're reading through Money Master the Game.
Yeah.
I want to get into one of the investments we were talking about a little bit, but tell me what you're learning through Money Master the Game.
Yeah. And also a lot of his stuff that he teaches at Wealth Mastery and Business Mastery is in Money Master the Game. But yeah, essentially diversify all of your investments. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket, and make sure you have a certain percentage that you're committed to putting down each month that's going towards all of those different buckets and being disciplined with those savings. Because you hear in the book, he tells a lot of stories of these millionaires, Mike Tyson and all these guys that like made almost billions, but then they spent it all and they lost it all. And if they had just set up a plan and invested it, they'd be completely fine.
Correct.
But
Correct.
yeah, really important, even if it's just a little bit, to put something away each month and develop that discipline to, and also do your due diligence. Make sure,
Which we're about to get into.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just tell it again real fast. Basically, when I was making a ton of money, I think I had 1 week where like I broke a new record for myself and I made $34,000 in 1 week. It was like my best week in Windows. And I just had this big money week, and I was like, what am I going to do with all this money? And then like right after that, I was approached by my parents and their mutual friends to go invest in this tech company, CloudX, and they had these little pods that you invest $12,500 into one pod, and then it gives you recurring individual income based on how many people are using the pod. And I was going to be the first one in and get these discounts, and my pod was going to be the first one to be filled. So I'm like, this sounds like a no-brainer. I'd be stupid not to do this. I'll buy 4 of them.
I'll take 4.
I was like, I just made $34,000 this week. Wow. And I have a lot more than that in the bank account. This sounds like a no-brainer. Let's do it. And just didn't do any research, didn't do any due diligence, just trusted what they said, and then ended up losing it all because the company went under. They didn't have a sales team and didn't keep up with it like I should have, and just assumed it was going to be doing well, and it didn't. And so I had to learn the lesson the hard way of you got to do your due diligence of where you're investing, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, I would have been a lot smarter if I'd only bought one, see how it goes, and then if it goes well, do more, type of a thing. But young and naive, rookie mistake.
That's okay, as long as you actually learn from the mistake. Don't make it again.
Yep.
Nowadays with AI, like, you can throw a lot of the due diligence that maybe you don't know how to do, because most people, if you're like me, and I talk about money a lot on the internet, I look back at 5-6 years ago, stuff I was putting out, and I was like, I had no clue what I was doing. And I wasn't acting like I knew what I was doing. I was just like, yeah, I'm pretty much just documenting my experiences of what I am doing. And now I'm talking about what the lessons I learned, because I've lost a couple $100,000 as well, putting them into syndications like that. So for the listeners, basically what he did was he put in, what was it, 50 grand?
Yeah.
Roughly 50 grand. So Dallin put in 50 grand into a syndication, what it sounds like, into a real estate syndication that was going out and doing what's called an edge data center, which basically means it's like a retail building that has computers in it. And it sounds like they sold, and I've heard of these before, where they sell like a rack, which is like think about a big fridge, but it's all just computers. The fridge also has fans on it that's cooling down these computers. And you're basically you can buy a rack, and you can do the same thing with Bitcoin. So it sounds like this was not to Bitcoin. This was specifically for like cloud storage or AI or something like that. Yeah. So people know, you guys have probably all heard of this. If you haven't seen this, you'll start seeing it now, because your reticular activating system is going to pop in and you're going to start seeing it. There's real estate syndications or Bitcoin syndications where you can go buy Bitcoin miners. They're just computers with fans on them, and you buy a rack, or you buy 1 or 2 or 4 or whatever, GPU, CPUs, computers, and you get the profit off of that based off of whatever the split is. So it sounds like
you got it.
It didn't work out, but you said I should have watched it more. In reality, you probably couldn't have done anything. As far as due diligence goes nowadays, I'll just give you this nugget for the listeners as well, is you can throw all their paperwork, their PPM, their private placement memorandum, their contracts, everything through Grok or ChatGPT, and just tell Grok or ChatGPT, preferably Grok, hey, I'm doing my due diligence on this. What do I need to know? What questions should I be asking? I have no clue what the hell I'm doing, and I just need you to act like you're an investment coach of mine or a billionaire investor. And what questions should I be asking? Like a Shark Tank type of investment, which is ironic because I watched Shark Tank growing up, and I didn't realize until I started a private equity firm that is literally just private equity at all times. And sometimes, no, it's almost all private equity. There's some venture capital in there, because some of them are startups that haven't sold any product yet, but majority of them are private equity style where they're a year, 2 years, 3 years in, and they want to get a capital injection to go buy more product or buy more real estate or whatever they need to do for their product that they're selling. Which is funny because we use that little circle. I'm doing the hand motion right now. The little circle sponge, the smiley sponge thing that's on Shark Tank. Those things are actually pretty badass. We actually use those. But anyways, yeah. So that's why did you get into it? Why? Because you probably thought it was real estate and technology. And at that time, 2022, 2023, 2024, AI stocks and tech stocks were booming. So a lot of times it is a good deal. At the time, it's not just about timing. It's also about the operator as you're learning in Money Master the Game.
Yep.
And so if the operator's doesn't have their stuff together, they can be an engineer and be the smartest person in the world. But if they don't know how to run and operate a business, it is very different. That is including the finances, the financials. It's not just about selling an idea, which a lot of people can do that. It's about actually executing and integrating the idea, which at the end of the day returns the money to the investors. Yeah, I've got myself screwed. One of the reasons why I started American Energy Fund was because of that. I was like, dude, these guys are like nothing against them. And the deal could have gone sour if Tony Robbins was doing it, right? Or maybe not, I was going to say Jesus, but not Jesus. It would have gone well with Jesus. But, damn, I was like, no, even if Jesus was gone, I can't say that because it would have gone well. But yeah, even if Tony Robbins or Ray Dalio or even whatever, President Trump did something, things go sour. It's cool to see that you've learned from that and that you're also now committed to educating yourself, reading Money Master the Game. I think I've read now 4 or 5 times Money Master the Game. Wow. Very large book. Yeah, but I actually go back to Money Master the Game, specifically chapters, like chapter 5 is all over insurance. I've gone through that when I was buying my insurance multiple times, read through that over and over and over and over again. Yeah. And his pitch in that, I hope that you're using that because that pitch in Money Master the Game for insurance as a consumer of it was one of the reasons why I said I need to set up my insurance policies because billionaires do insurance. It makes sense. You only have $250,000. You have death insurance and then you have life insurance, right? There's specific policies. I don't sell it, but I know about it because number one, I've read it and I own it. Yeah. But insurance to a billionaire or someone who's a multimillionaire, they can only hold so much money in the bank account where it's FDIC insured, right? It's insured by the federal government. It's $250,000. What if you're a billionaire? Where do you put your money at? And there's only so much exposure you want to the stock market. And there's so much exposure. There's only so many termites, toilets, and Texans and tenants that you can deal with in real estate, right? There's only so many hurricanes you can invest into or you can go through before you're like, F real estate. I'm at the point now where I never want to own. I never want to, rather, I should say, re-say this. I never want to have another tenant in my life with residential real estate. I want to own it. And that's what I'm doing now is I'm owning the properties and then being the bank. Because who gets paid? The bank. If you're a landlord and you have a loan on the property, if the tenant doesn't pay, the landlord still has to pay the bank. So I'm no longer an investor in real estate. I'm a lender in real estate, which is pretty awesome. So if you ever want to look into that, and I've talked to a lot of guys about that.
Before I got into life insurance, my plan before that was actually to get into real estate, wholesale, and lending money.
Pace, were you following my boy Pace?
I joined Sub 2 and Gatorland. I'm in both of them right now.
I gotta talk to you. I gotta talk to you offline, bro. I need someone like you that's on the inside with Pace to be able to find me something. I have something for you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and I should go deeper into it, but basically, once I think real estate is a phenomenal opportunity, and tons of millionaires and billionaires come from it. And you should learn to know how to lend or invest in real estate at some point to grow your assets and grow your money. I feel like that real estate should be a bucket in one way or another.
Of course.
But also once I got into it and went through all the different courses, this is amazing, but also there's so much more to it than I originally thought.
Yeah.
You really want to know your stuff because you can also get screwed in real estate really fast if you don't know what you're doing.
I did door-to-door Sub 2 foreclosures.
Really? How long?
A year.
A year. How'd you do? How was it?
I did all right. I got 4 deals closed.
Okay.
So not bad.
Yeah.
Not great. Yeah. So it wasn't a full year. I was transitioning out of solar 2016. I did 2016, late 2016 to, I started back up in solar. I got recruited by Sam Taggart and then he left and started door-to-door experts. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? I was like, I wanted to follow this kid, not this new guy. I ended up really liking and still am very close with Cody Schill, but that ended up being my regional. But anyways, yeah, I did door-to-door. I would find the houses that were going to foreclosure and go knock on the door.
Yeah, I almost started doing that, but I felt like it would just take me longer
Way
than I
longer. Are you kidding
wanted
me?
to
I was
make
driving,
to
I
make
was
a ton
driving
of
my
money.
Sonata around to find foreclosure houses, bro. That was when I owned that
Yeah.
in 2017 when I owned that Sonata.
Yeah, yeah. So I felt like it would take a long time to get to the level that I want to get at. Whereas insurance, I could fast track it and just plug into a system and a vehicle and leadership to really get the ball rolling quickly.
Oh yeah.
And
Make your money in insurance, put it in real estate. Make your money in
exactly.
insurance, put it in energy. Make your money in
That's
insurance,
kind of,
put it in tech
yeah,
companies.
that's the goal. So you got
Yep.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Bingo. Yeah, you're on
Bingo.
par there. Yeah, you could do, and there is a lot of guys that do, I would say, really well in wholesaling. Your $5,000-$10,000 commissions or your assignment fees or whatever they want to call it,
Yeah.
or whatever they call it. You could do that, but it's a lot of follow up. It's a lot of follow up. It's a lot of follow up.
Yeah.
It's no pest control. It's not even. It's way more than solar. It's almost to the point where it's like right under private equity follow up.
Basically.
So
Yeah,
it's
for real.
a lot of follow up. And you're like,
Yeah.
that bank is going to take your house back.
Once I got into it, I was like, oh, there's a lot more to it to finally get paid, to finally get the sale. And I talked to a lot of people that weren't having success doing it. And I was
there
like,
is, unfortunately.
yeah.
A lot of those guys ended up getting into solar or roofing or now getting into insurance where you can actually make some good money and then do the no money down sub 2 style. And I was like, dude, like if I had to start all over again, like I would be having massive company very quickly because most of my time I was tracking to the minute what I was doing on an app called A Tracker that my high performance coach was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I know exactly how much time I'm fighting with my wife, quality time with my wife, family and friends with my wife, spiritual time with my wife, dream building with my wife, on the phone with my wife, all that. I mean, like that plus all my business stuff, top 20%, bottom 21 to 40%, team meetings, payroll. You should definitely look at that app, A Tracker. It's pretty badass. Like, I think it's like, at the time it was like $5 and I bought it. And then you just go customize all of it and track what you want. And then I just set timers in my phone every 9 a.m., 12, 4, 8, and whatever. And then I would put reminders like, hey, calendar event in 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, on time event. And I would just get ding, ding every hour on the hour. Are you tracking? It just said tracking ? And I would go and fix it. So it's pretty awesome.
What were the major things that you were tracking?
Money making activities.
Okay. Any type of money making activities you're tracking.
So as an example, time with my top, at the time during when I was in door-to-door sales, I was doing it with time with my top rep. I would have each top rep time with them, time with the top 20%, knocking with the top 20%, knocking with the rest of the team meetings, one-on-one individual meetings. I would track those. Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Very
but
organized.
now the point now is that now you can throw all that data into AI. You can have your sales reps record their calls over the phone or on the door, right? And put that in, transcribe that, put that into Grok and say, hey, Grok, be whatever the best salesman out there is. I like Oren Klaff. Break down my presentation and tell me 3 things I did well and 1 thing I can work on and what objections I got, how much time I was on the door or on the phone, and help me understand 3 ways I can overcome those objections. And then you're just studying those. If you have a list of 500 ways to overcome each objection, what's the book? Grant Cardone's book, A Closer's Survival Guide. It's like that.
Okay.
If you've never heard of it, it's a very good book. It's basically like every objection and then how to handle it. If you are helping yourself create those with AI now, as a matter of fact, I would say, hey, be Grant Cardone's sales guy or whatever, Andy Frisella or whatever the guy, Andy Elliott, or what's the other guy? He was actually at Date with Destiny with us. What's his name? What's one of the top sales guys now? Jeremy Minor? That's the guy.
Yeah.
He was in my group.
Jeremy Minor had a little seminar that I was on before this.
Really? So you could tell Grok or ChatGPT or whatever you use to be your Jeremy Minor, Oren Klaff, Alex Hormozy, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone's sales coach. All those personalities combined, you're empowering your sales rep to put that into Grok, and with the right prompt, it will spit out amazing.
To you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've just been doing ChatGPT, but you think Grok is better than ChatGPT?
I wanted to say 10 times better, but it's not. But it's significantly better.
Okay. I'm gonna start using Grok more than ChatGPT. I've only been doing ChatGPT as of right now.
Okay, I am biased.
Okay.
But I do have evidence that it is much better. So ChatGPT is much faster. Grok will become faster once Elon starts his second data center and gets that up and running. So it is a little bit slower but it just thinks deep all the time. Yes, it goes fast, but if I really want to like AI something really quick, I'll go to chat. Sorry, because chat will be like, right now. And Grok would be like, let me think about who was the president in 1955. So, who was the president? Tell me right now.
I think it was only like 4 or 5 months ago that I started using ChatGPT like every single day for just little things. And then it gets addicting because it's just, you can optimize so many things. You can get a question to something so fast. Like, I didn't realize how much you can actually utilize ChatGPT for anything. And now it's just like, I get off of a phone call and I'm like, hey, I feel like I didn't overcome this objection the best. As the top salesperson, what are 3 ways that you would respond to this objection? Bam. And then I'm using ChatGPT as my personal coach like every single day.
Good. Yeah,
that's cool.
My buddy and I I'm helping him buy a truck right now, a new car. And we're doing it all online or over the phone or text, because that's a big thing in the car sales business now, all online stuff. He has his iPad up, laptop up. I've got my iPad up. I got my laptop up. I got the third screen on the laptop. We have ChatGPT up, Grok up, the website up. Like, we're going through everything. He's recording every single call that he has with them, putting every text message in there. And Grok or chats, walk away. That's a crappy deal. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Wow.
It's so awesome.
Crazy.
It is awesome.
Wild. Dude, yeah. AI
as a buyer, as a consumer buyer, it is awesome. Also, I know as an example, in the past 3 years when I've been doing retail raising for American Energy Fund, I could tell when certain guys were using AI, because I was like, there's no way that they would ask this question. No chance. I'm like, dude, this is good. People are actually using it. I'm like, good. I'm glad people are using it, because there's a lot of people that get screwed in oil and gas drilling. And it's all you had to do was ChatGPT it. That's it. It would have been like, no.
Yeah, no, it's a huge culture shift, dude. If you get on the AI wagon, you're going to be the top dog. And if you don't, you're going to miss the bus for sure. Yeah.
But it's good. It's good for your reps too. I hope and implore you to use that. If you're not, and listeners are here too, like, I spent the majority of my time coaching and training my reps. And if I could have had ChatGPT back then, I would have created all the prompts that they would have needed. ChatGPT will make the prompts for you, actually, if you want. If you're too lazy or you don't know how to do a prompt engineering, you're not very good at it yet, Chat will make you the prompts.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah. Give me 10 prompts to whatever, to help my sales reps. I'm giving them to my sales reps so that I don't have to freaking coach them all the time. And they can, instead of calling me at 9:30 p.m. and talking to them for an hour, you need to be their therapist and you need to be their sales coach.
That's sick, dude. I love that. That's really awesome.
Yep.
And you said you've made some courses that teach some of the things that you've learned with your investing endeavors.
On the financial side, yeah. The financial side. Really want to create a how the hell to use. It's so funny. I've talked about this for a long time and I never did it. I have to do it, especially now that I'm talking about it again. I don't think I've ever said it like publicly recorded it, but I have to, like, I use it on a daily basis. I need to create something that teaches people how to use AI, like how to prompt as a business owner. But this stems from people just don't know how to Google. I'm like, dude, like, any answer that you want, you can just Google. Now you can do Google AI and it's even better. And so, dude, it's just wild. Like, obviously different AIs, like Gemini with Google. When you Google something right now, you can do AI is different and you use it for certain things. You use ChatGPT for certain things, Claude for certain things, Grok for certain things. There's going to be more of them, but I definitely plan on also having one of the first robots in my house too. We already have a Roomba, so.
That's sick. Yeah, I have some buddies that are starting their own AI business, selling their intellectual properties to help optimize business owners' businesses, to help make calls for them, answer, schedule the appointments, book the appointments, not miss anything, just optimize their whole entire process and 5x, 10x their businesses from there. So I think that's a cool, like, if you can somehow optimize whatever you're doing with business with AI, you're going to be ahead of the curve than anybody else, I think.
You'll be left behind.
If you don't.
Unfortunately, if you don't.
Yeah, totally.
Dope. So tell me now, walk me through, because I know we're getting to the end here, but walk me through how you're using AI now. I'm really actually curious. This is the first time I've talked about, I think, AI in Going to the Golden Door. So I'm curious to see how you're using it. It sounds like you're actually using it for sales calls as well. What else are you using?
Yeah.
Diet plan, gym plan. What are you doing?
Actually, yeah. Like, I'm using it for the gym every single day. I'll be
Oh.
like, so I just got ACL surgery. So I was like, before I got the surgery, I was like, hey, give me 8 exercises that can help prep me for my ACL surgery that will help loosen me up. Or I'll say, hey, my main goal right now is to lose belly fat. Give me 8 exercises that would optimize me being able to do that. And then I'll say, hey, these are all of the exercises, lifts that I've done this week. Now give me 8 exercises focusing on the muscle parts of my body that I haven't hit this week so I can optimize my entire body and get a full body workout.
Yep.
And so I'll do that. Like, so literally like every week I was having ChatGPT create a workout program, and I'm going to be doing that. Like coming back, my main focus is going to be like optimizing my knee strength, because I'm actually getting my right knee done in a couple weeks. So
Is it completely gone?
Completely gone.
I was going to say do stem cells, but you can't if it's gone.
Yeah, I know. I actually got stem cells injected into my knees because I was hoping that it was torn before I got the MRI. And it was crazy. It made my entire leg like swell up. And then I feel like I went from 75% pain to 50% after the stem cells, but then I started playing on it more, and then I re-injured it. And then
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
If it's torn, like it's not going to grow back with stem cells.
yeah, you have
not
to,
yet at
you
least.
have, right. Yeah, you have to get the surgery. But yeah, I'll be utilizing ChatGPT for recovery. I'm using it for, hey, give me date ideas of what I should do in this valley.
Dude,
I'm
it's
using
so dope. You got one right now, dude. You don't even got to be creative anymore. Oh,
Dude, even on dating apps, bro, it's like, hey, this is this girl's profile. What's something that I could say that would pique her interest based off of this profile that she has? And then
yeah.
it'll give you like 3 different things,
Wow.
to get more
Dating
creative
in the world of AI.
Yeah, crazy. And then with sales, just like anytime I have a question about something, whether it's with the carriers or it's with
Yeah, exactly.
health question,
Wow.
or it's with like a sales objection that I wasn't sure how to overcome, or pre-framing, I'll just start picking its brain. Okay, this is the scenario that I just had. What could I have done to make it better? And you can do that for any scenario, any sales industry. If I was like back on the doors, and I actually did this without AI, where I would think about after an objection or I didn't get this set or closed, I would walk into the next door. I'd be thinking about, okay, what happened there? What could I have done to have gotten that sale? And that was something that helped me with the mentality. If we're talking like Golden Door, was you're always on that. To be a Golden Door person, you have to have that mentality that you are the best salesman in the world, and that if anybody could have sold that person, it was going to be me. That's the type of mentality that you have to have. And then anytime that you don't sell the person or get the set or the sell, you got to go back and analyze and, okay, where could I have done better? Where did I fumble the ball? What can I, like, if you keep on asking yourself, where can I improve? What can I do better? And you're doing it daily, you're going to find the Golden Door winners from the people that are doing that consistently.
Facts. I can't tell you how many times, if people that I know that are like dudes that run offices, if they ever see me at an event, as an example, DoorCon or SolarCon or whatever, RoofCon or whatever, all of those events, and they have like new guys with them, they're always like, yo, Mikey made it. Mikey got out. Mikey's a millionaire, right? He's going to be a billionaire one day. They go, tell my guys what to do. I go, you actually want to know what to do? Are you guys sure? Record your presentation on the door, go home. 3 things you did well. 1 thing you're going to work on, what objections, concerns that you heard, and how to overcome them.
Yeah, it was actually company policy in my company. You had to record every single thing that you had on the doors, all the knockers and the closers, no matter what. And then that would be sometimes a lot of the training is be like, hey, press play, and then we're nitpicking things and getting to the nitty gritty.
Study film, baby. Study film.
Yeah, so that was definitely super helpful leveling up, because I didn't really have that.
You did it in football.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it's huge. So
you definitely need to do that in insurance. Don't forget that. That's one of the best things. As you're reflecting now, I know you already know this, but I'm just reminding you, keep doing it.
I'm doing it. No, yeah, of course. Yeah. Listening to my own, listening to others. Yeah. 100%.
It's weird, right? Because as an example, like I listened to something today, like on YouTube, that it was a short from Johnny Depp. And it was like, Johnny Depp was like, I don't I prefer not to watch my films. And I think a lot of people are like camera shy, like they don't like listening to their voice because their voice is different or whatever. I got so over that in 2015 when I moved to Dallas, and they're like, you're recording everything you're doing, and you're going to go home and you're going to break down 2 of your presentations, the opener and the close, or the opener and the appointment set. And that's when I started with indoors doing that. And I was like, okay, cool. And then you'll go through your objection handles too. And if I don't do it, I feel like I'm not doing all of my job. And it's what made me someone that actually can understand why people listen to me. You were talking about earlier, but reading the Bible is one of the best personal development books out there. It's essentially a guide on how to have nothing and actually enjoy your life, and have everything and actually enjoy your life. Because a lot of people that are really pissed off that are broke, and a lot of really people that are pissed off that are very wealthy. Good news about like Tony Robbins' group, as an example, a lot of those guys are some of the most generous giving of their time, talent, resources, network, and their finances that I've ever met in my entire life. And that's why I say,
100%.
if you're a Tony Robbins guy, you're my people.
Totally. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. It blows my mind how generous and how much of a difference that community really makes all over the world. It's really awesome.
Bro, we're going full Joe Rogan on them right now. We're about to hit we're going to hit the 2-hour mark here in 2 seconds. For the sake of time, I mean, obviously we can keep on going, but for the sake of time, I hate to end it here, but we're going to have you on for another show. And I'd really love to go even deeper, especially because it's such a hot topic about this. Everyone's getting into insurance now. It's kind of like when everyone's getting into solar, when I got into solar, like 2018, 2019, 2020, and then it blew up again.
Yeah.
And then it blew up in their face. Unfortunately, luckily, because of Tony, I was able to catch that trend. I was like, I got to go. Got out in 2020 and I was like, I'm done. Sold a little bit. Like I kept some of my contracts with some installers to sell referrals, things like that. I think I did.
Tony motivated you to get out of solar?
Cole Hatter motivated to get me out of solar. Cole Hatter in 2019, 2020, when I was in his group, Thrive Connect, we were at a table and it was basically this, what did God call you to do? Essentially, is I'm just paraphrasing it.
Yeah.
Cole is a Christian, but he didn't really say it like that. But he's like, you're called to do something outstanding. And if you were, what was that? And I was like, I'm going to go change the world with saving us with power. And that's why I ended up starting American Energy Fund. And I was like, okay, with American Energy Fund, I'm at the bottom now again. The top is building power plants. And the top of that is building power plants for data centers, because you sell it to utility, half price, sell it to data centers, double the price.
Crazy how that all turned out for you, dude. That I like where your brain went with that. You went big and expanded your horizons more than most people allow themselves.
Oh, dude, I'm crazy. Yeah, no. I've been told all the time, you need to like slow down. Do you have fun? Do you like do anything? I'm like, oh, I was just in Fiji. Like I was just in San Francisco. What do you mean? You see my Instagram. What are you talking about? I'm traveling I'm having a great time. I love life.
Yeah, dude.
What are you talking about?
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
Loving life. Is it stressful? Absolutely. Is it a lot of work? Sure. But I knocked on doors, bro. What are you talking about? Full time.
Honestly, though, because the amount of work that it took for you to finally get to that point, you had to do some crazy negotiating and connection working and research to finally get to that. Not many people can pull off what you pulled off.
Yeah. It was, like you said earlier in the beginning, hunger, discipline, and optimism.
Dude, I think that's the recipe right there, dude. Yeah.
I would say it
Got
is.
it. Love that, dude.
I'm just a normal person, just like you, though. Same thing. I drove a Sonata too.
Dude. Yeah, honestly, like that was also a big thing, hanging out with the top level people, hanging out with the Tony Robbins. Was like, yes, they're gifted. Yes, they have talent, but also it's not nothing that I can't cultivate in myself.
You knock on doors full time, buddy. Yeah, you can do it too.
And so it just opens up your world to broaden your horizons, because it's, like you're just thinking a little bit too small. Like solar is step one, but then starting your own solar company is step 2, and then building your own power plant is step 10.
And I knew that, right? Because anything else, if I'm in, as an example, Illinois, and I want to go to Starbucks to get egg bites and a coffee in the morning, God forbid I have to drink Starbucks coffee, but if I had to, because I was on the run and I needed to, okay, cool. I'm not going to try to go ask people where Starbucks is at. I'm going to put it in Google, and Google's going to tell me exactly where to drive. I don't know the street names. It's going to say in 2.2 miles, you're going to make a left on Washington Street, and you're going to then make a right. So, okay, cool. If that's the destination, somebody else has done it before. It's not like I built not like I'm building the first power plant. It's not like I'm building the first data center. It's not, I had to like convince my head, like, it's not that crazy. It's like someone's built a data center before. Someone's built a power plant before. Okay.
Yeah.
They can do it. I can do it too.
It's recognizing the opportunity that's there and then asking the right questions and getting the right connections to be able to get the blueprint and then start building type of a thing.
Little RPM, little Tony Robbins. I used Tony Robbins this entire time, bro. I was like, oh, dude. Yeah. And like I said earlier, I leveraged AI to teach me what I needed to know. It was outstanding.
And you use like the pattern recognition of what you've seen others do in the past to be like, wait a second, there's something to this here. People are doing something. And so if I can start thinking like they're thinking, the whole game can shift.
I'll tell you, this was a pattern recognition that I'm right about. I knew I was right about it, but it's actually true. It came true. Was when I first got into the data center power plant phase, I knew that there was only so much power on the grid. Like I sold solar. I know that there's only so much power on the grid. I know that they're shutting down power plants left and right. So there's only so much power on the grid. Okay. And so if there's going to be all this trillions and trillions of dollars in new data centers and new manufacturing, new semiconductor plants, we're going to have a problem. So tenants, hyperscalers, Oracle, Google, Meta, Amazon, so on and so forth, they're eventually going to run out of grid power. And they all demanded grid interconnection to be able to sign an LOI for our data center. And I was like, you're not going to get grid connection for 10 years. If you're lucky, you have to go behind the meter power. Nope, never been done before. Nope, we don't want to do it. We don't want to be the first. I'm like, you're not the first. What are you talking about? People do on-site generation all day long. I get it. It is very complicated. That the power generation side, if you look at the data center with all their technology and the fibers and the splicing and all the computers and billions of dollars of computer chips versus the power plant is significantly harder than the actual data center itself. Significantly harder to have load following and syncing and rhythm and all. Dude, it's significantly harder than the data center itself. But yeah, it's a pretty awesome where they all basically now acknowledge that there's no more power on the grid. If you want a data center and you want a big one, a gigawatt or above, a gig campus, you need to bring your own power. And so I've been telling everybody, bring your own power, BYOP. Everyone thought it was funny, but I knew a little bit something they didn't maybe about the power company. So I come in with the power first kind of mentality and like, the grid's tapped, guys. Build your own power or you're screwed. So don't go anywhere don't go try to build a data center where you're going to try to eventually get connection to the grid where you cannot build your own power plant because of air pollution quality in California. Or build a small one with solar and wind. Cool. But you're not going to get a gig size campus, 10 buildings without on-site generation ever again. BYOP, baby. Bring your own power.
Dude, we got to recognize that, bro, and go after it. That's awesome.
Oh, dude, they pushed back so hard. They're like, no, absolutely not. I'm like, I need to talk to your power people because they will understand what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. Now, I didn't say it in a disrespectful way, obviously, but I was like, I was convinced. I was like, dude, no, there's no power on the grid. You're not getting grid. You might get 300, 400, 500 megawatts, maybe, but even then, that is about to run out. There's just so much more money that needs to be invested into the grid. It is what it is. The grid is old.
Now, when you finish this project, are you going to do something similar again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you got a different area in Texas, different state, or
Texas. Yeah, no, I'm staying in Texas.
Texas is very friendly for startups, businesses, taxes. So you're choosing a good state to build.
I'll probably end up after 3 years of being in Houston. My wife graduates, say I'm the 4th year. I definitely plan on having a house back here in Dallas, but also, or maybe a high rise, maybe an apartment high rise, and then moving back out to South Florida.
Dude, South Florida is great location, great weather, great people.
Which is what I need to talk to you about because I need you to find me. I need you or to send the sub 2 group, hey, these are my parameters and I'm about to have the cash within the next X amount of months. I need you to find me a sub 2 house or find me a dealio because I want a specific, not specific. I basically want a sub 2 deal, or I want something that's someone that's like just got divorced or like death in the family. It's a 1 story that needs to be knocked down. And I want to build a monster.
Sick, dude.
on the
Okay.
water.
On the ocean or lake?
Yeah, in the inlet. So ocean, but in the inlet.
Okay.
Yeah, not like on the beach. I want to be able to pull up my 65-foot solar catamaran to my house.
Dang, dude. That's exciting. Also, the fact that you got other projects in the works. It's
I
also
don't.
exciting.
That's the problem. I want to go enjoy life, but I'm like, okay. So this is another trend that I'm seeing that I believe is going to happen. I think there's at most 2, maybe 3 years left to start the project before Elon figures out how to get all these large language model data centers up on the moon.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm saying
Whoa.
like 3 years to go get the contracts, go get it entitled, and do a massive data center, a gigawatt scale campus or above. 2 to 3 years, not 2, 3 years probably. But like once that's 000 hits the clock is 3 years. If you don't have your things in order, then I'm convinced within a few years after that, because the data center space, the computing power will eventually catch up within 3 years. Maybe not actually. 3 years is what I'm telling myself. And then after
Yeah.
that, they're all going to go to space, and I'll probably end up doing one in space too. I cannot.
Really?
I can't not see myself doing it. I'm going to have to do a data center on the moon.
What? Dude, I haven't done any research or heard anything about the moon stuff, but that's wild to me. That's wild.
Yeah.
Why the moon? Like, why do you have to
So-
go to the moon to do that?
Okay. So you don't have to, but it is smart. So it's better to have, in my opinion, it's better to have a bunch of smaller edge data centers. Having the smaller edge data centers, like where this podcast is either being listened to on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, this is
Mhm.
being hosted in a data center near Mesa, Arizona, where you're listening to this right now, or near Dallas, Texas, or wherever you're at in the world. It's in a data center near you and called an edge data center. It's a smaller data center. Then they have the large language model, which is all these like robots, how Elon's full self-driving stuff, like all that training, training models of AI, like training Grok, training ChatGPT, all that. Those are the big campuses. Okay. Those ones pull a lot of water, used to pull a lot of water, a lot of power, and use a lot of real estate. And so if you put them on the moon and specifically train AI on the moon, all you have to do is put up a bunch of solar panels and you have 24-hour power, and it's a lot colder up there. So the cooling is a lot easier. And
Does the sun being closer help with the solar?
I'm sure it
Who
does.
knows? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the cooling is a
Wow.
lot better. The power is 100% is 24/7. And you don't, like with AI, large language model training, inference, you're not necessarily using that right now. So as an example, they would still have these big data centers that we're going to have, right? Where you're doing ChatGPT, you're doing Grok, and it's going to go to a data center here. It's going to go through its one data center, then to another data center, and then back to the finishing data center, and then it's going to spit it back to you. That's what's happening now. Sometimes it's just in one data center, but in general, it's going from one to another one back to the left brain, the right brain, and then the actual brain that puts it all together. Then it sends it back to you. To train those computers, you still need more buildings to train those computers. And so that's what a lot of that stuff is going to be brought up to space.
Wow. Haven't heard anything about that, but that sounds sick.
Elon's been talking about it for a long time. And that's now the big
Yeah.
topic. That's now the big topic as of the last couple of weeks. Data centers in space.
Wow.
Data centers will still be in all around the world, all around the country, all around the world. But the training of it doesn't necessarily need to be on ground. It can be up in space or on the moon.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Crazy what the future holds with AI and the moon and self-driving cars and
So keep
Dude, it's
using
gonna be-
ChatGPT or Grok, baby. Come on.
yeah.
I need it.
Sure Let's go.
Oh yeah, brother. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
I typically end calls like this. This has been actually really cool. When I actually talked more about me, this is great. Am I being interviewed here? Damn it. Sorry.
No, you're
I'm sure you're learning, and some cool news that people are getting out of this. Dallin, what if you had one last word for the other Golden Door Award winners? What would you tell them?
What would I tell them? Yeah, honestly, I think whatever you believe you can do, if you put in the hard work, the discipline, the optimism, and you're attacking it full on, Tony Robbins was saying a peak state,
Yeah.
then I feel like there's nothing that can stop you. It's crazy what you can do when you put your mind to it and you go on. But you have to have a strong why. You have to be disciplined. You have to be able to sacrifice things that aren't easy to sacrifice. And that can mean for everyone, it's different. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's food, maybe it's social media, maybe it's your friends, but it requires a level of sacrifice that a lot of people aren't willing to do. But if you are willing to do it and go all in with both feet, then there's no reason you can't do it like everyone else that has done it before you.
Love that. Appreciate it. Where can
Yeah.
we find you on the internet?
Yeah, just Dallin Haymore, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, first and last name. Yeah.
It'll all be in the show notes below. You guys can go follow Dallin and follow his journey. And Dallin, I'm hoping that you're putting out as much content as you can, whether it be stories about this transition, and please document, as Gary Vee will say, don't create content, document what you're doing.
But with that, one of the reasons why I decided to jump on is I was watching this YouTube video. Grant Cardone was saying that whoever has the most attention, whoever is able to document the things the most is the people that win, the people that create the difference, that create change, that really take their business and their lives to the next level. And I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm not doing a very good job of putting myself out there. And so this is the first step in putting myself out there and just like sending it. And I think it's whatever you're doing, if you're not being public about it, you're just not going to be able to impact as many of lives as if you were to put yourself out there online. That's honestly great advice that you said.
Alan, just understand that you are going to attract many keyboard ninjas, as I like to call them.
Thanks.
So just don't read the comments. Just post.
Yeah.
Your buddies will text you like, hey, bro, who's doing your videos? I get that all the time. Yo, this one sucked. What happened?
Yeah. I think if you're relentless with it and can be creative and put your own spin on it, and if you own it, if you like it, if you feel like it's valuable, ignore the haters, just keep pushing through. That's the mentality that you need to have.
Absolutely. Awesome, brother. I appreciate you, man. Good luck this year. I look forward to seeing you on stage, and you got to go prove yourself, bro. And I know you're going to. And now I feel obligated to hold you accountable to this, because now I'm going to make sure that you hit this golden door this year with the insurance side. So there was only like a couple guys that hit it in insurance, so you definitely need to hit it.
Appreciate it, dude. You got to shoot for this.
And you will hit it. You will hit it.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Good luck this year.
Thanks for having me, man. You too, man. Thank you.
Of course.